The 80s. A time where kids would run around in disease-ridden fields, then come inside and get a nice pop or a nice chocolate milk. A time where kids would only play outside, and that's right, play video games. But not just any video games. They'd play arcade games. Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is JG, and today we're going to be looking at a video game-inspired movie released in 2015 starring Adam Sandler called Pixels. This movie is quite honestly forgetful. It's very forgetful. And in case you hadn't noticed yet, I just rewatched it. And I gotta say, this movie is different than I remember. And after rewatching it, I realized why I haven't seen it in a forever ago. But without further ado, let's get started, boys. The movie begins with a kid named Sam Brenner riding his bike down the sidewalk. Where is he going? I don't know, but he does look very excited. However, we eventually do see where he is going. It's his friend's house. His friend, named Cooper, is outside mowing the lawn, then suddenly Sam appears. This is where I leave it to you. What do you guys think happens next? Do you think A, they share a crisp high five and then embrace? B, Sam invites Cooper to a yoga class? Or C, they start to scream at each other? The unfortunate correct answer is C. It's C. Anyways, our two bros then arrive at a newly opened arcade store, and then without any prior knowledge to any of their gaming background or history, we see that Sam is a literal god at arcade games. Meanwhile, his friend is playing Galaga, but just being super bad at it. And he's also playing the claw game. I don't know. Cooper v. Cooper, I guess. Then we see that since Sam is so good, he gets an invitation to the 1982 arcade game
World Championship.
Our money literally means nothing. Anyways, we cut to the World Championship and we're introduced to two new characters. The first being Ludlow Lamonsoff, a kid who talks to video game characters, especially Lady Lisa, and is also confirmed to be a conspiracy theorist at the ripe age of 10 years old. The second character we're introduced to is Eddie Plant, aka the Fire Blaster.
They call me the Fire Blaster!
This guy is a menace. He just is. He's supposed to be like the antagonist to our protagonist Sam, and he's also supposed to be like the bad boy of video games. I don't frickin' know, man. The games then start, and a dude walks up to explain the rules who sounds very similar to Tom Hanks.
Worldwide Video Arcade Championship!
While the man's explaining the rules, he also says that the entire time they're going to be recorded, and once the World Championship is over, the videotape with all that recordings of all the games is going to be launched into outer space so that aliens can find it and see how stupid we are.
Let the games begin.
So the gamers take their spots, right? And they start to play, but there isn't like a montage for it. They just show us two people, Sam and Fire Blaster, being literal
Video game gods.
So eventually there is a tie, and the two contestants that have tied are called up. Number one is Fire Blaster, who is the Pac-Man World Champion. I can't believe those words just came out of my mouth. Number two is our boy, our guy, Sam frickin' Brenner. Let's go! But Sam is the champion for both Galaga and Centipede. He's a champion of two games, which already makes him better than Fire Blaster. So their tiebreaker is Donkey Kong, and they have to see who can beat the game first. Okay. Yeah, that seems simple enough. What could possibly go wrong? Oh. Okay. Never mind then. So Sam eventually loses, and, he's heartbroken, but luckily he has a very good friend to comfort him.
Sam, listen, you're still gonna go to MIT and invent something that makes you a millionaire, and maybe even marry Olivia Newton-John.
So we flash forward like a time barrier, and we're in a restaurant with Cooper and her boy Sam. Then the movie shows us their jobs, and this is where it gets confusing because it shows us that Cooper, the kid mowing the lawn at the beginning of the movie, is the president of the United States. What? That's a very big detail that they just glossed over. All they showed us of him is that he's good at the claw, like he's good at the claw game. We then see that Cooper is horrible at his job. But Sam isn't an idiot, and he works for a company that installs technological things called Nerds. And then we cut to him being summoned to a house, and he sees this kid, and the kid's like,
Yeah, just install my PS4, PS5, Xbox Ones, 2 TVs.
and Sam is like, why? The kid's like,
Oh, my parents are getting divorced.
oh, okay. Then this kid's mom walks in, and Sam is like, man, you so fine. I forgot to brush my teeth this morning. Wait, what? He's like, I had a Tic Tac. Also, I should mention this. Sam, my guy Sam. This movie isn't showing us anything good about his character when he's an adult. He literally barges in on this woman crying in her closet when she finds out her husband cheated on her with a 19-year-old girl named Cinnamon. So Sam eventually leaves because he's summoned to the White House, and he gets to the White House.
His friend at the White House, the president of the White House.
Is like, Sam, our Air Force base in Guam was attacked. Look at this footage. Anything familiar? And Sam's like, looks like Galaga, dude. And the reason Guam was attacked was because the videotape that was launched into outer space at the beginning of the movie was found by aliens. This plot is so stupid. So the president then tells Sam to review the rest of the footage while he goes to a meeting in the Situation Room. That's another thing that's really confusing here. Apparently, there's a room in the White House called the Situation Room. What kind of original name for... especially for the White House, is that? The Situation Room? I guarantee you that is a made-up thing just for this movie. I am kind of curious, though. Is the Situation Room real? Oh. Whatever, it still sounds dumb. Eventually, Sam also ends up in the Situation Room because he just invites himself in, just casually just walks into a national security meeting in the Situation Room where the very, very bad situation is being discussed. Like, he literally just barges in completely uninvited, like he did with the woman back at this kid's house. Anyways, Sam is like, it's aliens, and all the dudes in the meeting are like, that's
Bull crap.
and they kick him out. Sam leaves. Get frickin' wrecked, Sam. Eventually, we're in Sam's van. Sam's van. And behind him, we see a person. And it's Ludlow Lamonsoff. Josh Gad is finally here in this movie. So Sam and Ludlow have this awesome reunion. And then Ludlow takes Sam back to his apartment where he shows Sam this show that he watches. And while they're watching the show, it cuts to like this like really awkwardly made video where it's aliens saying that they're accepting the offer of war declared by the humans. Yeah, that's right. The aliens are attacking Earth because they thought the videotape of all the recordings of video games was a declaration of war. So then Sam and Ludlow take this to the president and show him the video, and Cooper the Pooper is just like,
I can't authorize a war effort on a video that looks like a bunch of high schoolers made it.
and he does nothing. He does nothing. But spoiler alert, the president is dead wrong, and an attack happens in India like 2 seconds later. And something that the aliens do for each battle they go to, they take trophies for the battles they win. And from Guam, they took like a colonel guy. And from India, they just took a random civilian who was in the middle of proposing to his girlfriend. So apparently the aliens hate the military, and they don't like lifelong romance. So then we cut to our 3 dudes walking in like a military base where the U.S. have already created weapons to destroy these things, which, by the way, are made of pixels. Roll credits. Let's go. Movie title. Let's go. But this part of the movie doesn't really make any sense when you think about it. Like, how did they make these weapons so fast? The U.S. just found out they are under attack from aliens, like, 2 days ago. Anyways, we're now moving into the part of the movie where the bigger battles take place. And to be quite honest with you, this video would be stupid long if I discussed every single detail in these battles. So I think you know what this calls for. It's time for a speed run of this part of the movie. Our boys head to London where they fight and win against Centipede. Also, apparently Sam and Lolo Lemonsoft know how to use giant space monster destroying weapons, whereas the Navy SEALs don't. That makes no sense. The boys win a trophy, and it's Duck Hunt! Then our guys go to prison to get the Fire Blaster out of prison, who is in prison for very, very bad things. They get him out, and they go to New York, where they find Pac-Man terrorizing the city and the police force. They fight and win against Pac-Man, win another trophy, and guess what? It's Q*bert! Then they go to a ball to celebrate their victories and dance the night away, and they find out that the aliens found out that they forfeited, they cheated, which means they're gonna attack the planet and destroy everything that everyone loves, and the aliens are attacking, and that's not good. We then discover the secrets behind the Fire Blaster's insane gaming. He is a cheater. He cheated against our boy Sam in the freaking arcade game World Championship. That freaking jerk. Then Miss Van Patten's son gets taken by the aliens because he's sitting outside like a freaking idiot because he just found out the aliens are gonna attack the planet, and he's outside because he's stupid. I hate this movie. So now we're at the end of the movie. Our heroes are at their low point, and they're scattered. Then they eventually decide to just fight the aliens. Just go out and fight them. Just by themselves. Dumb idea. They're probably all going to die. And may I just say, these aliens don't seem like that much of a threat. Like, later in the battle, like when they're in the city fighting the aliens, one of the pixel frogs gets grabbed by like a crane, and while it's being grabbed, it like catches a bug, like a space bug flying with it catches it with its tongue and then starts to eat it. But the bug is a space bug from Galaga. So the frog just betrayed one of its own kind. And also, some of the aliens that they have attacking the city aren't even like bad things. Like, one of them is a Smurf. A freaking Smurf! Anyways, we then see that the crane was being operated by Mr. President Cooper Trooper. And then our boy Ludlow splits off from the group and to fight the aliens on the ground, leaving Sam, his love interest, Miss Van Patten, and Cooper to go up in the mothership and save the world. And also in Q*bert. You can't forget Q*bert. So on the ground, Ludlow finds a bus under attack and starts to do his thing, right? But then, from behind the bus and the corpses of fallen aliens, Lady Lisa appears in the flesh. Ludlow then gets extremely horny, as any guy does, and tries to win her over with the power of words, but she's like, nope, and then tries to frickin' slash him with her swords. But as Ludlow keeps talking, Lady Lisa, through sheer willpower, like, remembers who he is. Then Fire Blaster reappears out of nowhere, and he starts to help them. Up in the mothership, though, our heroes are just walking along on these big red beams. There's blue barrels everywhere, and there's red ladders. Then, from the darkness, we hear giant thuds, akin to a giant taking steps. Then the camera zooms out and reveals the boss of the aliens. It's frickin' Donkey Kong. The final battle then ensues, and to keep it plain, it's just shots of Sam and friends just running around, dodging barrels, climbing ladders, Sam doubting himself, and then Miss Van Patten's son, Maddie, revealing the truth about how Fire Blaster cheated in the World Championship all those years ago. Sam getting his strength back. Classic movie trope stuff, pretty much. Then Sam finally defeats Donkey Kong, and the Earth is saved. But what about the aliens, I hear you ask? Well, Cooper, the president, actually does something good for once in his life. He apparently made a peace treaty with these guys. So, you know what? That's a pretty cool ending if you ask me. The movie now is essentially over, and there's nothing really interesting left, but except for one thing, which happens at the end, that does require some form of commentary, is the fact that Q*bert is no longer Q*bert. So, when the aliens were defeated, right, and Sam finally decked Donkey Kong in the face with his giant hammer. All the aliens were just like Thanos snapped from existence, including Lady Lisa, and Lolo Lamonsoff saw it, and he's just like really sad. And then Q*bert just transforms himself into Lady Lisa. And when he transforms into her, it does not sound like a very simple process. Like, he's grunting in pain. Like, you can hear him grunting in pain. It does not sound like a very nice process at all. It sounds very painful. But, like, does Lady Lisa still have the consciousness and voice of Q*bert? Or is she just like a completely different entity now? I don't think I want to think about that too much. Well, that just about does it, folks. That was Pixels. This movie isn't really bad enough to the point where I would never watch it again. It's just one of those movies that, you know, I would watch like every 5 to 10 years. But let me know if you want to see some more kind of this content. And if you have any suggestions for movies, leave them in the comments. Or DM me on like Twitter or something. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. And if you did, be sure to like this video and subscribe if you are new. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out, y'all. I do feel like I should leave you with something, though. Don't eat yellow snow, guys. I'll see you guys next time.